So you describe 3 different approaches of communicating in your book, Read the Room for Real. And I'd love for you just to share a little bit about those with us, the downloading, the
Sure.
feedback, and then the crosstalk.
Sure. So I wrote the first draft of the book. It was done. I thought it was fine. I sent it to the copyeditor for a second draft. And then I drove to Asheville to give a speech. And on the way down, I was like, oh, I didn't see that before. So the copyeditor was really mad because I made a whole bunch of changes after that. But the core insight was this. Essentially, you can think about a meeting as having, in any moment, you're in one of 3 different modes. One mode is you're downloading. One person is talking to many people, or a panel is talking to many people. It's essentially one-to-many communication. The core objective is to get ideas from the stage to the many people. And that's fine, and that's important to do. But that's only one way of having a meeting. A second mode of a meeting is the point of the meeting. The point of the moment of the meeting is to hear many, for one person to hear from many. You're trying to get feedback from a group of employees, or you're trying to hear from the citizens, or you're trying to find out what's going on in the community around some public health issue. You're trying to find out their lifestyle, whatever that is. One person is trying to hear from many. That's a different task. What you're trying to do is different. The processes and techniques you need to do are different. What you need to do to confirm that you're being successful is different. And then the third mode of a meeting is crosstalk. So it's not many to one, it's not one to many, it's many to many. The whole point of that moment, and this is where the dialogic skills come more into play, you're trying to get those people to talk to each other, to understand each other's point of view, maybe to do something to going forward, maybe just to have more understanding. But the point is them talking to each other. And so seeing that, never having seen this distinction, it being so basic, and it being such a cause of problematic meetings, because people come, they're expected to, they're led to believe they're going to give feedback and they're just download it. They're led to believe they're going to have crosstalk and they're just giving some feedback. Feedback implies that the controller, the presenter, they're making the decisions. They're doing a subsequent analysis. I'll take y'all's feedback, might take it very seriously, but the power and control is held in the hands of the stage, the presenter. So if people come expecting more participation than they get, they wind up unhappy. And I think part of what has to happen is that we need people to have better clarity, both in themselves about what they're doing, so they make processes that are appropriate to what they're doing, and better transparency and communication, so expectations are clearer, so people don't leave kind of mad because they expected to have more influence than they do.
Sure, yeah.
But like I said, I just can't believe that I never saw that. Like, I saw a longer version of this, but it seems so simple and so basic. But that was the big insight for me writing the book.
And that's one of the things I often, when I talk with folks about dialogue and these 3 different modes, that they start writing down notes, because they're like, that was the kind of meeting we had when I thought we were having this other meeting. And so when people come in expecting to provide feedback, but it was really a download, they get angry. Mm-hmm. If they're expecting a dialogue and to be able to express, and then they get some sermon, they get upset.
They get mad, right.
So, and then that leads to interpersonal conflict and
right.
And further division sometimes, and the stories in people's heads about what's going on.